Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's doing well. Not as hot today. It's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. But yeah, hope everyone's doing good. We've got the dog. It always makes me laugh saying the dog. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. The dog. Helen George says Barcelona winning the league tonight. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I did check the numbers beforehand. I think they need to win this to win the league. I was wondering. I was wondering yesterday. Is it a case of them just needing to draw, or do they need to win? But it seems like they need to win. But hopefully they get the win today. Derwood says, "Let's go Barca." Yeah, I think we're all kind of Barcelona fans today, 100%. We don't want we want to give the dirty club in white misery that lasts as long as possible. So if Barcelona can win the league tonight, that'd be fantastic. Derwood says, "Hope you're well." Yeah, good, not too bad. Maybe went for a bit too long last night, if I'm honest. I think I don't know if I was making much sense at the end, and then I was like, yeah, I need to go to sleep. But I think we were there for 3 hours yesterday. But yeah, no, good. How are you? Hope you're well. There's more grapes now on the plant. I'm happy to report. Remember how I reported there were 8 little grapes? There's now 4 sets of 8, so there's 32 little grapes. I don't know how we went from 8 to 32, but I'll keep you updated on my gardening and how that's going. And Neymar Jr. says WIRTZ might play striker for you. Apparently, the Darwin replacement. Yeah, I've seen stuff. I've seen some stuff on that. We'll probably talk about that a bit later. It's either genius or it's crazy. Because my kind of initial reaction on that was, this guy's not a striker. Why are we paying, or why are we potentially paying a significant sum of money to play someone out of position? But that's not. That's probably just my limited mindset. Thierry Henry was a left winger, and then he became a good striker. WIRTZ probably can play the false 9 role, so it might be a level of genius that we're not aware of, but let's see how that goes. We've got Red Rebellion here. How you doing? Hope you're good. I'll just set the kickoff timer because I just kicked off. I appreciate everyone cares about the Liverpool stuff more than this game, myself included. But I'll put the timer on anyway. I won't lie, the watch-alongs are partly an excuse just to talk about Liverpool things. Oh, bollocks. I've put 25 minutes. I do this every single time. One day I'll stop making that mistake. 40 seconds now. Frimpong close apparently. This is one of those things where the news seems to progress a little bit every single day, and you just get the feeling that this one's gonna happen soon, hopefully by the weekend. As we were kind of discussing yesterday, I think that they are perhaps pushing this one along quicker to relieve some pressure on Trent and to reduce the likelihood of any kind of funny business at the parade with respect to, because it's an open top bus, right? And whilst I'm fine for people to boo, I don't want people throwing things at him. That's ridiculous. So I suspect they're probably pushing this along to say, look, the Trent thing's sorted now. Just let him have his little moment before he F's off. But yeah, that's progressing really nicely. Hopefully that's done by the weekend. I'm so excited for that signing. I don't know why. I'm perhaps a bit naive, but I just think with Frimpong kind of bombing up and down the right, it means Salah has to do even less running. And I think it would ultimately mean that Salah can perhaps come inside a little bit which will bring him closer to goal. So hopefully he gets another ridiculous goal tally next year. And with respect to WIRTZ, yeah, there hasn't been like any significant downplaying of that today. You know what I mean? Quite a few times teams will be linked with a player and it's really fun and it's really exciting on the day. But then the next day, all the journalists come out and say, yes, that is utter hogwash. That is complete nonsense. That is fabricated. But yeah, there hasn't been like any significantly strong denials about it. So I'm still moderately excited. I'm still a 20% excited about it, but not letting myself get too excited, which I'm sure most Liverpool fans are doing. Because if we let ourselves get too excited, we'll get let down. So we're still cautiously looking on that. We've got Harry here. Harry says, hello, says, hello, how are you? Yeah, good. Not too bad. We went for 3 hours yesterday and I felt it in the morning, but I'm okay now. How are you doing? How's the pulled muscle from your Alisson Becker antics? So, for those that are not aware, Harry was playing in goal and he's playing as the sweeper keeper. So he's rushing out of his goal. He did really well. He's pulled a muscle, but pulled muscles heal. So hopefully he feels better soon. Bagwell says, hi, how's you doing? Yeah, good. Not bad for a Thursday. It's a bit more gloomy today from a weather perspective, but I don't mind that. I don't like it when it's too hot. I'm the type of person, I always kind of go on holidays when it's cold. But when it's hot, I'm like, I just don't want to go outside. So I'm one of those. Sunny says, my drunken friends are ready for La Liga now. Let's go. Visca Barca, Visca Catalunya. Indeed. And no chair and no rope today, please. So Sunny was being very descriptive about his rope and his chair when it was the PSG game. But today should hopefully be a celebration. Pedri's on the ball there. Lewandowski's back in the team, starting again. So you are going strong, which is fantastic. Durwood says, that's awesome. Yeah, it is. Super happy with that. I've got grapes growing. I've got cherries growing next to the grapes. I've got apples growing opposite the grapes. I've got plums growing next to the apple. I've got some more cherries growing. I've got blackberries growing. I got plums growing, peaches growing. I got blueberries growing. The thing with gardening, right, is you start off and you're like, I'm just going to buy one. And then before you know it, you got 50 plants. So yeah. But I'm most excited about the grapes. I don't know why. I'm just most excited about them. Fish is back saying mac and cheese backwards again. What is your obsession with mac and cheese? Is it your favorite? Is it your staple meal that you go to, or is it just a general obsession and a general appreciation? Durwood says, in case anyone didn't see, Ferran Torres had emergency surgery for appendicitis and it was a successful operation. Oh wow, okay. That's really good to hear. I didn't know that he was having surgery. So it's good to hear that it was successful at least, and yeah, hope he makes a quick recovery. Espanyol are through here. Cleared. Sunny says, Gyökeres to Arsenal, is it confirmed? Not confirmed yet, as far as I'm aware. There are rumours. Arsenal are in desperate need of a striker, so they've done what they always do, which is buy a defensive player. But they might get Gyökeres, they might get Ekitike, they might get, I don't know, Dave Smith. They might get Delap. But I haven't seen any confirmation. on Gyökeres to Arsenal actually happening. I think at this point it's mostly just rumours, to be honest. Even the Frimpong deal isn't 100% kind of done yet. But hopefully the Frimpong one is done in a few days. Did you hear the new Gravenberch song? I haven't. I saw that there was a new Gravenberch song, but I haven't heard it yet. I need to give a listen to that later. Have you listened to it? Is it any good? Is it bad? I presume it is good. Most of the songs are pretty good. Sonny says, a word said he want to stay at Germany. Didn't he just say that? I mean, there's quotes where he says he wants to stay at Germany. There's quotes where he says he wants to explore different countries, explore different cultures and so forth. All I know right now is that there's a bit of smoke regarding a possible move for WIRTZ. There's a rumor that he was kind of promised to Bayern Munich, and then Bayern Munich got a bit cocky, and then WIRTZ's parents were unhappy with that, and WIRTZ's parents said, you know what, Bayern Munich, you're being too cocky. We're gonna see what options are available in England. A lot of this is just kind of back and forth. But let's see what happens. I wouldn't say I'm expectant. I would say I'm slightly enthusiastic. Maybe it will happen, but let's see. Harry says, good, thanks. There is no pain anymore. Played again today as a striker and goal and a bit of defense, but we won. Okay, well, number one, congratulations on the victory. Number two, you've recovered after a day. If that was Neymar, he'd still be injured. So you can take that as a positive. You've got better recovery than Neymar. But yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to hear things are getting better from a fitness perspective. Fish says hi. But you've already messaged me about mac and cheese, and then you say hi afterwards. The Barcelona derby, yeah. I think Espanyol have Barcelona, like it's Espanyol de Barcelona, isn't it? Saying that with a very proficient Spanish accent. Espanyol de Barcelona, isn't it? Oh, the referee's talking to what looks like a special forces policeman. I hope they're not trying to shoot anybody. Why is he actually talking to the policeman? That is a bit bizarre. Everyone looks a bit concerned. I don't know if someone in the crowd is messing about. Red Rebellion says you should grow veggies too. Yeah, I should. You got any suggestions? I tried growing onions. Last year by propagating an existing onion. It didn't work. Yeah, I could grow potatoes. Yeah, let me know what you think would be a good thing. What you think would be a good thing to grow. I'll give it a try because I still got a bit of space. Fish says hi. You'll never walk alone. You will also never walk alone, Fish. We do appreciate the crazy things you say. Derwood says it's a really good one. Okay, the Gravenbed song, nice. I'm gonna have to give that a listen today, hopefully. Red Rebellion saying hi to Fish. See, everyone appreciates you, Fish. Sunny says, by the way, Ty did come to AFTV. He did in his red tracksuit. I left a comment. So the tracksuit said OFCL on it, and I said, Ty, does OFCL stand for Zero Effing Champions Leagues? But yeah, the Arsenal fans they didn't appreciate that comment. Yeah, he wasn't as delusional as we would have thought, and he did give PSG credit. I mean, failing to win every trophy does provide a level of humbleness. So perhaps that is what has happened there. Ryan says hello Ryan, how you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Free kick to Espanyol here. I quite like Barcelona's kit they're wearing here, the black one. Is it black or is it dark blue? But I quite like it. It's simple. Harry says it wasn't serious, but yeah, I'm happy I can play without limping. That's all. That's always a positive. But my teammate injured his back and it was tears. So I walked him off and made sure he was all right. Well, that's sorry to hear about your teammate, number one. But point number two, you did the right thing. You walked him off, made sure he's okay. Yeah, I mean, they're lucky to have you on the team. because you're not just performing on the pitch, you're also looking after people as they get hurt. So yeah, people couldn't really ask for much more as far as I'm concerned. Fish says, Fishindico, I agree with you with whatever that means. Zero FCL, they were furious. they were furious. But it's like, why wear a tracksuit that says, oh, Lewandowski? Oh, close. Why, as an Arsenal fan, wear a tracksuit that says zero FCL on it? Of course, some crazy idiot like me is going to ask, does that stand for zero effing Champions Leagues? It's normal. A Red Rebellion says, there are many growing methods on YouTube. Do a search sometimes. People even grow potatoes in buckets. Potatoes are good to grow because of them being expensive. Yeah, YouTube is good for that. I was trying to grow lemon trees 2 years ago, and it kept failing. It's working now. I've got like 20 of these. When I search the growing method on YouTube, basically what you got to do if you want to grow lemons is you take a lemon seed, right? Take a lemon seed, peel the skin off with your nail. Again, I saw this shit on YouTube and it works. Peel the skin off with your nail and then leave it in like a wet paper towel for 2 weeks. And when you leave it in a wet paper towel for 2 weeks, it will kind of germinate a tail, and then you can plant it in soil. So yeah, YouTube's good. I'll look up potatoes as well. Good way of saving a bit of money, I guess. Ryan says, I don't understand Arsenal fans. They have this big ego about finishing second. Yeah, that's the thing. They talk a lot of smack, and they're very confident, and they're very bullish. Bullish is perhaps the word I'd use. They're very bullish for a team that hasn't won anything, and I don't understand it. Like even a lot of the talk this year was, oh, we're not scared of Liverpool. We're not worried about Liverpool. Liverpool haven't played anyone. We'll catch Liverpool easily. But it never happened, did it? I don't know where this level of overconfidence comes from with respect to Arsenal. Hopefully this year has taught them a level of humbleness, but to be honest, I doubt it. Fish says, Chihuahua, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm with you on that. Harry says, I always play with respect for my teammates and opponents. Well, that's good to hear. That's more than we can say for certain professionals. So yeah, it looks like the professionals can learn from you with respect to kind of, how to treat other people. Ooh, Espanyol are through here, but I think, oh shit, they're through. Nice save by the. I was gonna call him an Arsenal reject, but we're supporting him today. Nice save by Chesney. Jose says, Pon el juego. I should probably Google stuff before I read it out. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it says, could you put the game on? But then if I put the game on, you won't be able to look at my amazing face. Wouldn't you rather stare at this? Okay, the answer is probably no. But you know what I mean. Fisher said the same thing again. Ryan said YouTube is such a random place. It is a random place. Kind of videos about absolutely everything. There's some useful stuff on there. Some completely useless stuff on there. Like even today, there's loads of people saying, okay, WIRTZ to Liverpool confirmed. It's definitely happening, and it's like, no, it's not. It's not actually confirmed. When you don't know how to do something, it's good. It's good for kind of tutorials and that sort of thing. I don't mind it. What the Celtic is here, it says, Fish, what's your at YouTube so I can look you up? It's Fishy da boy. I like the fact that your username is Fish and like your screen name is also Fish. It's like the common theme of aquatic marine life is quite exemplary. Harry says I would, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with YouTube. Gotta be like super careful. As Red Rebellion said there. If you cough a bit too much, they'll kind of copyright you. So Frankie de Jong and Pedri are quite deep, almost ahead of them. But to be fair, they're interchanging. Pedri on the right wing. Pedri crosses it in. Goalkeeper should get that. Goalkeeper wearing a fetching pink outfit. I'm sure that was his choice. Ryan says, I hope Slot locks Milos Kerkez and Frimpong. Yeah. We'd go from having kind of very little pace down the wings to having a abundance of pace down the wings. Just imagine that. Imagine being a defense coming up against that, and you've got Frimpong running up and down the right wing. You've got Kerkez running up and down the left wing, and I haven't even mentioned the actual wingers yet. I haven't actually mentioned Luis Diaz. Haven't mentioned Salah. Haven't mentioned Gakpo. I mean, what could happen is Slot is perhaps targeting these fullbacks to kind of hold the width. So these fullbacks are going to be very wide, and then it will allow Salah to come inside a little bit more. It will let Gakpo come inside a little bit more. It will let Diaz come inside a little bit more, and it will get them closer to the goal. I see the vision. And I guess another point there is you've sorted out your fullback position for 70 million, which in today's market, quite often 70 million doesn't buy one player, never mind two. So I think the price that we're kind of getting these for is another positive. Fish says, if young Metro Dog trusts you, young Metro Dog does trust me. It didn't used to trust me, but trust me now. Ryan says there would be two big upgrades. They would be kind of massive upgrades. From a defensive perspective, I think they're better. Frimpong and Trent are probably similar from a defensive perspective. I think Trent's problem, certainly this season and last season, was his concentration, whereas I think Frimpong is going to be more motivated and therefore will have a high level of concentration and will also therefore be more willing to learn. I feel like Trent had kind of given up this year because he knew he was leaving. So if you know you're leaving a job, why are you going to bother? That's just the vibe I've got from Trent this year. Because quite often as well, he'd be out of position, which is fine, but then he'd be very slow to run back. So yeah, I think Frimpong would be an upgrade over this incarnation of Trent, where this incarnation of Trent is unmotivated and kind of lazy. Kerkez would be an upgrade over Robertson as well, if we do get him. I'm seeing shouts for like Jorol Hato as well. I can't say I'm particularly fond of him. I know we watched him during the when we did the watch-alongs during the Conference League, and he scored an own goal. He didn't look all that great, but yeah, I'd rather Kerkez if we are that way inclined. What the Celtic says, I got 21,000 views on what? Is this another Nunez compilation, or is it a different kind of compilation? Ryan says, I love Robbo, but it's clear Slot don't. Yeah, the thing is with Slot, I don't think he loves Robbo or Simicast. I think he hates both of them. It is pretty. I think it's pretty clear as you said. I think Robertson has been fantastic for Liverpool. He's potentially the best left back we've seen in our lifetime for Liverpool, but I think the flip side of that, time waits for nobody. He is getting a fair bit slower. A lot of his game was kind of based on his pace, which isn't there anymore. And again, that's not his fault. Like, everyone kind of ages. But I think what will probably happen is Kirkes will perhaps come in as a starter. Tsimikas will probably get sold. Rafinha with a shot. Save. As we were saying, Kirkes will come in as a starter, probably. Tsimikas will get sold, probably. And I think the reason for that is Tsimikas has a longer contract and we can probably get more money for him. And I think Robertson will perhaps stay as the backup certainly for this season, but it'll be interesting to see what happens season after. I don't know how long he's got on his contract, if it's just 1 more year or 2 more years. Let me look that up, actually. Andy Robertson contract. Okay, so his contract expires in 2026. So, 2026 and he's number 26. That's convenient. That's a good way of remembering it. So yeah, he'll have 1 year left this year. So this might be his last year. Dieu Merci Yamin says, thumbs up to you. Fish says, Solanke is love hearts. Is this... Okay, I've got many questions based on that statement. Number one, is this Dom Solanke, as in Dominic Solanke? And number two, if you are truly in love with Dominic Solanke, I don't recall him making your top 10 hottest players list. Or would he be on the next list? Because Lewandowski was on there. Daley Blind was on there. And I don't understand that, but you do you, Fish. But yeah, I don't remember Solanke being on there, but he might have been. Ryan says, I don't think he's getting slower. Everyone's just getting faster players. Yeah, there might be an element of that as well, to be fair. Pretty much everyone's got rapid wingers now. And even the centre-backs these days are a lot quicker than they were back in the day. Like your Van Dijks, your Konates, your Gomez's a few years ago. Even the centre-backs now are rapid, whereas back in the day, your John Terrys, your Jamie Carragher's, they weren't. Your Neil Ruddocks. Anyone remember Razor Ruddock? So back in the day, centre-backs were seen as more of the kind of strong type. And I think centre-backs are still strong now, but they're also kind of rapid. So yeah, it makes it perhaps a bit harder for a left-back. Red Rebellion says Robertson may move to Celtic. He's been linked with them. Interesting. Is that this season or is that next season? I believe he is a Celtic fan, so it might be nice for him to kind of end his career there. End his career at the team that he supports. But is that this season or next season? If it's this season, then that would mean Tsimikas is staying. But if it's next season, then I think Tsimikas will probably go, and then Robertson goes next. Oh, yeah, I mean, next season will perhaps make sense, right? Because his contract is up next season. So he'd perhaps go to Celtic on a free, but you never know how these things work. Ryan says, tell me about it. Centre-backs have pace now. Yeah, and I think that's the significant change that I've observed, and I'm sure many people have observed over these past 10 years. A lot of people say strikers these days are not what they were. They used to be a lot better back in the day, and I'm like, part of that's true, but I think part of the kind of issue is centre-backs these days are rapid. Like, I loved like R9, but R9 wasn't playing against rapid centre-backs. So I think centre-backs these days, and it's not just Liverpool centre-backs. I mean, even you look at, Hausen, who looks like he's going to Madrid. He's quick. Rudiger's quick. It seems to be a desired trait. The kind of slower centre-backs are perhaps not necessarily making it. You could say, from a Liverpool perspective, you could perhaps say Jarell Quansah is a bit slower. But he's being linked with a move away, so that that shows you kind of how important pace is in today's game. And I think another reason why pace is perhaps important is because a lot of teams play such a high line these days. So if you're playing a high line, you need pace to kind of get back. Whereas back in the day, high line wasn't so much of a thing, so pace wasn't so much of a necessity. Fish's top 10 hottest footballers list, which changes every day. Number 1 is Solanke. Number 2 is Anang. Number 3 is Boy. Number 4 is his daughter. Number 5 is John. Number 6 is Bobovsky. Not aware of him, but I'll take your word for it. 7 is Kivior. 8 is Wissa. 9 is Mbuemo. And 10 is Frank Oneka. Well, it's good to always get an update on your top 10 hottest players list. I look forward to seeing how this changes the next time. Red Rebellion says, if he does not go this season, he leaves on a free. Yeah, that makes sense. How old is he right now? Let me just check. Okay, so he's 31 now. He's perhaps a bit younger than I expected, to be fair. I thought he was a lot older, to be fair. But yeah, he's 31 now, which means when his contract expires, he'll be 32. Yeah, as a 32-year-old, he's probably unlikely to get a new contract. I mean, we do it. I mean, look at Salah. But yeah, I suspect what will probably happen and what makes the most sense is Robertson stays for another year as a backup, and then he goes on a free next year to Celtic, and then we get another left back to compete with Kirkes. Seems pretty sensible. Could also be this coming window. I mean, if we get like a significant fee for him, you never know. They might let him go. And then just keep Tsimikas, who's got the longer contract. But if I had to guess, I'd say they'll probably keep Robertson for his leadership ability and the fact that he's part of the leadership group. And then let him go on a free next year. Fish is saying thumbs up, love hearts, champagne, and a beaver. Interesting. 11 you, 12 me. So why have me and you been knocked out of the top 10? I'm pretty sure both you and I have been in the top 10 list before of your own list. I mean, I appreciate I'm number 11, so I'm just, I'm very close to promotion into your list as are you. But we've been knocked out the list by Bobovsky and Frank Oneka. All good. I'll take it. 11's good enough. They shouldn't give that much space to Pedri, and he almost scored from about 30 yards. There's no one closing him down, man. A Red Rebellion says, everyone always rating the men. Has anyone seen Marie Hobinger? She plays the women's team. Austrian, and I reckon she is a blonde bombshell. We have to Google this person. Is that Liverpool women's team? Marie-Therese Hobinger, or is it Hobinger, is an Austrian footballer who plays as a midfielder or forward for Women's Super League team Liverpool. I mean, she looks like the equivalent of Sabazlai. Yeah, it might be time to go to a WSL game now. Christian said hi. Hello, Christian. How are you? Hope you're well. Liverpool women's team. Yeah. I hadn't heard of her before, but I'm aware of her now. She wears number 14, so I was gonna say Jordan Henderson's number, but then I remembered it's Chiesa's number. I think. Yeah, Chiesa. Chiesa, who's apparently off to Napoli. Christian says Italian flag, Inter, Italian flag. You must be happy about progressing to the Champions League final, Christian. Do you think you'll win it? It is Inter versus PSG, right? Unless I'm getting old. Yeah. PSG versus Inter, 31st of May. So in about 2 weeks. Do you think you'll win it, Christian? Are you confident? Are you pessimistic? Are you concerned? Are you excited? I've got no clue who's gonna win that game. Inter versus PSG. It could go either way. Fish says Ruben Amiram. Is that Ruben Amarim's evil twin brother? Christian says Bene Grazi. Good to hear. Good to hear you are well. Fish says, sir, can I use the toilet? No. There's no toilet breaks during the game. You can only take a break at half time. But you are a fish, so isn't your entire environment the toilet? You know what I mean? Because fishes must piss in the same water that they swim in, right? Yeah. Chiesa is good. I like Chiesa. Why is Chiesa not playing? I want Chiesa to play more. When you go into the Liverpool dressing room, the first shirt you see is Chiesa's. It's bang in the middle. He is good. It does look like he's gonna go back to Napoli though. Inter 3, PSG 1. Could happen. I hope for you it happens, and then you can celebrate Champions League. Perhaps a goal from Martinez. Perhaps Bastoni gets a header. Perhaps Thuram might get the third goal. Thuram looks very good. So yeah, it could happen. Christian says, I not speak English, sorry. I mean, you're doing pretty well. You speak better English than some people that I work with, so take that as a compliment. But yeah, your English is good. Christian says Chiesa is top. Good. Yeah. I like Chiesa. I'm perplexed. I'm confused as to why he hasn't played more games. But yeah, Chiesa is good as far as I'm concerned. Ooh, Pedri through here. Ooh, Yamal. Whenever I say Yamal, I always think I'm insulting someone saying Yamam, but I'm not. I'm saying Yamal. Nice shot, just goes a bit over. Durwood says, yeah, actually, that's a good point. Good point by Durwood. Dumfries will score. Was it the semis where he scored? He got like 2 assists and a goal, or a goal and 2 assists. He got 3 GA. Was that when we were talking about Dutch genes or something? it seems to ring a bell. But yeah, Dumfries has been on a tear recently. I mean, the interesting thing about that is for Netherlands, Dumfries is the right back and Frimpong is the right winger. So we're getting the right winger to play right back. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. But even then, it's interesting. Yeah, but Dumfries having a very good season. Puado was through there. Or is that must be an old replay they're showing there. Danny Olmo here to Pedri. A lot of news stories as well today that Liverpool have made contact with Christopher Nkunku. Now, Christopher Nkunku is a player that I was extremely jealous that Chelsea got. It hasn't really worked for him at Chelsea, but who does it work for at Chelsea? When you've got 5,000 players coming out of, every corner of the ground, you don't really have the opportunity to showcase your ability. I mean, if Nkunku is available, it might be worth taking a little punt. Yeah, Dutch jeans during that game. Fair enough. And it was Hungarian jeans when we were talking about Dominic Szoboszlai's hair growth being quite impressive. He is a wasted talent there, as in Dumfries at Inter. Do you think he'd be better placed elsewhere? At a different club, maybe? Christian is perhaps listing his lineup maybe for the final. So Sommer in goal, Acerbi, Pavard, Bastoni, DiMarco, Nico Barella, Chanaloglu, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Dumfries, Martinez, so Lautaro Martinez and Thuram winner champion. I mean, you will be competitive. You'll certainly give PSG a fight. In some ways, PSG are the unstoppable force, and Inter are like the immovable object in some ways. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. But you certainly got a chance. I mean, this is maybe one of the closest finals I recall in a long time. Man, Barcelona have Christensen. Remember him? Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Ado would say, no, Nkunku. I was like, Dumfries. I was like, is it Dumfries in the Champions League final? But then I thought, maybe I'm missing something. Perhaps I'm missing something. But no, of course. Because after Dumfries, we were talking about Nkunku, weren't we? Yeah. He does feel like a wasted talent there. He looked unstoppable in the Bundesliga when he was playing with our friend Dominic Szoboszlai. And apparently, when we got Darwin Núñez, the data team's selection was actually Nkunku. So the data team wanted Nkunku, Klopp wanted Núñez. So there might be a player that can be revived there. I mean, if he's available for cheap, by cheap I mean 30 million or below, then might be worth taking a punt, What's 30 million these days? I mean, of course, we have to consider what's the likelihood they would sell him to us for 30 million. But for argument's sake, if they did, I'd be interested. But I agree with you. Yeah, he is wasted there, Nkunku at Chelsea. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of players are wasted there because there's so many players. You don't really get the opportunity. You have one bad performance and you're thrown out of the team. But every player has bad performances. Salah has bad performances. Red Rebellion says, now that Huijsen is off to Madrid, number one, we now don't have to learn, is it Hausen or is it Huijsen? Because I've been saying Højsager and then people are saying Hausen, so we don't have to actually learn that anymore. So there's a positive. We're gonna save a bit of time. We are moving on to Hatto. Oh, please no. No. Again, I appreciate. I'm basing this off of watching 2 matches, but I can't say I was overly enthused about Hatto, but I've only seen him for two games. Centre back and left back. I mean, I appreciate he can cover 2 positions, so that maybe that's a positive. He is Dutch as well, and we seem to be building a Dutch dynasty. Dutch manager, Dutch centre back, Dutch captain, Dutch midfielder in Gravenberch, Dutch forward in Cody Gakpo, Dutch right back in Frimpong, and now a Dutch centre back / left back in Hatto. I mean, if people are excited about him, I probably need to do a bit more research and look at him a bit closer. But yeah, it's exciting times. Exciting times to see who comes in. Edison and Tesla best friend. Do you mean Tesla? It says everyone type. I think this is like a religious thing, but if it'll make you happy, I'll say it. Everyone type Jai Shri Ram. I probably pronounced that a bit incorrectly. I'm fairly sure it's like a religious thing, but if it'll make you happy, I'm willing to say it. I won't lose any sleep. I think the Chelsea curse has him. Since he signed, he's been injured a lot. True, he has been injured a lot. And I think when you're injured, it can be quite difficult to get back into a team. And it's especially quite difficult to get back into a team when you've got a gazillion forwards. So Chelsea have got Nkunku, Chelsea have got Madueke, Chelsea have got Neto, Chelsea have got Jadon Sancho, Chelsea have got Mudryk, Chelsea have got another gazillion that we're forgetting. When you've got that many new players, I mean, it's hard to build up any sort of rhythm. Whereas if he was at Liverpool, at worst he's the 6th choice, and at worst he's gonna get probably a couple of years to prove himself, unless he's Chiesa, but that situation's all weird. I'd be excited. Christian Laghi says Fratensi, Taremi. Potentially 2 of your favourite players there, maybe. I'm sure they appreciate the support. Cross by Barcelona. Espanyol countering, but good tackle. Espanyol get the ball back though. Cleared. Christian says, I love Ranieri, Leicester City. Yeah, what a story that was. Italian manager, Claudio Ranieri. As I'm sure many people guessed by the Claudio. Yeah, what a story that was. Winning the Premier League. I think many people love that story and love what happened in that season. Apart from Tottenham, but who cares about Tottenham? Quite a few Italian coaches have won the Premier League. So you got Ranieri, you got Antonio Conte. Probably others that we're forgetting. Was that Man City bloke? Was he Italian? Carlo Ancelotti, forgot about him. Yeah, Roberto Mancini. Yeah, that's it. Four Italian coaches have won the Premier League. Ancelotti, Mancini, Ranieri, and Conte. Half time here by the looks of it. Still 0-0. Come on, Barcelona. We need you to score 1 goal. Christian says, dilly ding, dilly dong. Yeah. Ranieri did have a way of endearing himself to the public. Conte out, says Christian. Who does he manage now, Conte? Is it Napoli or something? Antonio. Yeah, Napoli, yeah. Christian says, Ancelotti, good. Ancelotti, very good. Very good manager. He's pretty much won it all, hasn't he? Won Premier Leagues, won Champions Leagues, won La Ligas. And now he's going to manage Brazil, it would appear. So yeah, let's see how he does at Brazil. Vinicius was potentially glad to see the back of him, but he won't see the back of him now. Saying, "Oh God, it's you again." Christian says, "No good Conte. Why don't you like Conte? I've not been following his exploits at Napoli too closely, but is it his personality? Is it something about him?" Under the Floodlight says, Claudio Ranieri bought Roma from 15 to top 5, 21 unbeaten this season. Damn. I mean, he's showing his capability as a manager then. Won the Premier League with Leicester. And now, did Ranieri take over after Mourinho left? So the fact that he's kind of brought them that far up is pretty impressive, number one. And to go 21 unbeaten in a tough league, you got to respect that. Christian says, yes, Brazil. Yeah, let's see how that goes. It could be a nice fit for him. I'll stop this timer because we're on 45 minutes. Conte only money. Yeah. Oh, so you're saying he needs money to succeed. A bit like Pep Guardiola, maybe. Well, I'm being a bit cheeky. So you're saying he needs to kind of spend money to buy fancy players, and that's the only way he can succeed, rather than coaching what he has. That's an interesting take. Under the Floodlights, and the picture is also a floodlight, so I appreciate that. It says, no, had Del Rossi, and he lost 6 out of the first 6 games. Oh, that's pretty shit, isn't it? You literally can't get any worse than that. I presume he got sacked then. He got sacked after his 100% loss rate. Lost. I feel like anybody here could manage Roma and at least get 1 draw. I mean, Roma are a big team as well, right? I mean, to lose 6 out of 6, that has to be a level of sabotage involved there. That's impossible, surely. But it looks like, according to Under the Floodlights, after Del Rossi went, it looks like Under the Floodlights is also a Roma fan saying, we then went 21 unbeaten in the Claudio. Fair enough. It's good to see things are looking on the up there. I mean, losing 6 out of 6, I still can't get over that. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, you think you'd get 1 draw in there somewhere, you know. Lost 5, drew 1. Okay, at least there's something redeemable, but nah. But yeah, Ranieri sorting them out. I'm happy to see that. Ranieri also always comes across as quite likable, quite relatable. So it's good to hear he's doing well, and it's good to hear that the fans quite like him as well. Christian says, Conte, no money, no party. Yeah, a bit like Guardiola. That's my conspiracy theory. Guardiola wouldn't be successful at a Dortmund or a mid-sized club. So it looks like it's a similar sort of thing with Conte, where you're saying coaches like Ranieri take an interest in the players and take an interest in improving the players rather than just buying new ones. I mean, that's always admirable, should I say. Under the Floodlights says we've got AC Milan at home to secure European football. Very nervous and Dybala still out. So I'm just gonna Google what's the Serie A table looking like. So Roma are 6th with 63 points. Milan slightly behind, 8th with 60 points. Yeah, I mean, so Napoli, it goes Napoli, Inter, Atlanta, Juventus, Lazio, Roma. It is pretty crazy. It's very tight at the top as well. 1 point between the two, but yeah, I appreciate there's a level of kind of being nervous, kind of given the context there, but I think you can do it. You're a couple of points ahead of them. It's certainly possible. I didn't know Atlanta were doing that good. They're third. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, it's definitely crazy now. I was just having a look at it there. Napoli 78 points, Inter 77 points, and looks like there's 2 games remaining. Inter might get a double. If Inter get a double, Christian will be very happy. Christian says, "Is mercenary Conte? Ranieri is very, very gentleman." Yeah, that's what everyone likes about. That's what everyone likes about Ranieri. Comes across as a gentleman. Comes across as a nice person. Comes across as a relatable person. Perhaps that's why people like Ranieri and don't like Conte. Conte comes across quite authoritarian, quite strict, quite a disciplinarian. Whereas Ranieri just feels like everyone's granddad in a positive way. So yeah, I'm glad Ranieri is being appreciated now. It always felt a bit kind of unfair how he got sacked at Leicester after he won the league. I remember thinking that doesn't seem right, but I'm glad to see people are appreciating him now. Under the Floodlight says Claudio has been able to mix young talent in with players of maturity, like Hummels, Dybala, and Mancini. I mean, I think that's one of the important skills. Because if you've got a team full of mature players, you don't really have that pace or energy. If you've got a team full of kind of young players, you don't have that experience. So I think having that ability to mix the old and the new, I think that's a valuable skill, and it's good to see that Ranieri is able to do that. I guess he was able to do that at Leicester as well. That's probably one of his strengths, I think. Durwood says, so the issue during the game, when the game was halted, okay, so this is why they were talking to a policeman, I presume, on the side. An elderly woman driving outside the stadium lost control of her car and hit numerous Espanyol fans. No one seriously injured. Wow, okay. Number one, that explains kind of why it looked so serious. I remember we were saying why the police in the stadium and what's going on there. But at the very least, I mean, it's really good to hear that nobody is seriously injured. I mean, no one should get injured at any time, but especially when they go out to a football match. So, yeah, that's all we can say. I hope no one's seriously injured, which is a positive. And yeah, let's hope any minor injuries are sorted. Claudio is leaving at the end of the season and becoming a director of football at Roma. Okay, interesting. Are there any rumors and is there any news regarding who's going to be the new manager? It's probably not going to be Del Rossi, right? I'm available. I know I lost your 6 games. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see who comes in. Ryan says hello. Hello, Ryan. How you doing? Hope you're good. Christian says, "Okay, man. Good night, thank you, and good night to you too. Hope you have a nice evening." Ryan asks, "Where are you from?" I'm from England, UK. How about you? That is the question. News coming out: Liverpool are interested in João Pedro. I think it's just the time of the. I think it's just the time of the year when we get kind of linked with everyone. Ryan says, "I'm from England, UK too. You look Punjabi." You may be correct. You may be correct. I did notice. Is that like a kara next to your name? I think. But yeah, it's probably an exaggeration to say I speak Punjabi, but I understand it. Punjabi, do French as well. Je parle un peu de français. But yeah, I'm not French. I'm from England. Harry asks, "What is your opinion of the first half?" Is alright. Is alright. KG innit? KG game. No crazy chances. A couple of shots that went wide. 0-0. I guess a 0-0 can only be so exciting. I mean, it's alright. Would have liked a couple of goals. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully we see we get a bit more excitement in the second half. What do you think? Are you watching it? You say true. Yeah, it was fine, but nothing major happened other than the police stoppage, if I'm honest. Yeah, quite boring. Yeah, I think that's it's probably the best way to put it. Esan_A1 says, "Who do you think is winning the Ballon d'Or?" I think it's Dembele. Me, probably Dembele. I probably think Dembele is gonna get it. I think especially if especially if PSG win the Champions League, I think they'll probably give it to kind of Dembele. Dembele's got very good PR. He's French. The Ballon d'Or is French, so I think he's the favorite right now. I think Salah does have a chance, but Salah doesn't strike me as having as good PR for whatever reason, and I'm sure we can speculate on the reasons, but it seems like more of a kind of European trophy. And it seems like the Ballon d'Or seems to kind of favour the Champions League over other trophies. So yeah, I think it'll probably be Dembele. But if they don't win the Champions League, and Dembele gets it, I'd be annoyed. If they do win it and Dembele gets it, I still think Salah deserves it, but I can understand the decision. But if they don't win the Champions League and Dembele still gets it, I would be a bit miffed at that. Ryan says, "Yeah, it's the Sikh symbol in my name." Yeah, I thought so. If he wins the Champions League plus brother France versus Spain, will be good. Will be big. Yeah, it will be big. 100%. Salah hasn't really been good outside of Prem, but for me, it's Dembele or Yamal. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think Man, the police are still in the stadium. Crazy. They're just coming out for the second half now. Yeah, I think Liverpool's Champions League campaign potentially did harm his Ballon d'Or chances. Even though we topped the group and we were thinking, okay, we're gonna smash the Champions League, to then get kind of knocked out by PSG is not ideal. So I think that unfortunately harmed his chances. Um, for me, I would give it to Salah, but I'm probably a bit biased considering the shirt that I'm wearing. Um, but yeah, I saw the odds, and I think Dembele is the first favorite, Salah's the second favorite, Rafinha is the third favorite, but who knows? I'd love Salah to get it because I want him to get some level of individual recognition. I think he deserves it. Pixel says, "Hey yo, how you doing, Pixel? Hope you're good. Didn't expect you to be online today. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to either. But then I had to kind of Google the fixtures quite a few times, and then we said, you know what, we'll give this one a go, kind of thing. But yeah, how you doing? Hope all is good in the New Jersey hood. I don't know if anyone watches like pizza reviews on YouTube, but like all the good pizza shops are always in New Jersey. So then I get semi jealous of Pixel. like, he could go to that shop quite easily. But yeah, pizza in like New York and New Jersey is like way better. Is way better than the pizza we get here. Like I went to New York 2 months ago, and oh my god, pizza was so good. I've had pizza since I've come back to England. It's just not the same. It's literally just not the same. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. How they make obviously the ingredients, but yeah, what can you do? Sunny says, I would rather go with Rafinha than Yamal. Yeah, I think that's a fair ranking. I think Rafinha was in like number 2 position in terms of the odds. But I think Salah's in number 2 position after they got knocked out of the Champions League. After Barcelona got knocked out. Shit, I should set this timer. $46.55. Aston says, especially Dembele versus the Premiership teams, shocked everyone how good he can play at centre forward plus winger. Yeah, and I think especially this season, we were talking about this on one of the kind of older streams. It seems to be a case of Mbappe's gone, Messi's gone, Neymar's gone, and now he's got the space to kind of shine. Whereas it kind of felt like when the kind of big stars were there, he was kind of I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but he didn't really have that capability and that platform to shine. But now the big stars have gone, and he's kind of the big-ish star alongside Kvaratskhelia. He's got more. He's empowered more to show his capability. There you go. You can see I've been to work today. But yeah, Dembele is having a very good season. It's either Snake Bele or Rafinha for me. Damn, like popular sentiment is not backing Salah, unfortunately, by the looks of it. Durwood says at the beginning of the match, the announcers were saying, because it's a derby match and there is a fear of Barcelona fans storming the pitch, there is more police. Okay, that makes sense. Police are kind of there for protection as well. A Pixel says, you know why? To have a good pizza shop in New York, you can rely on foot traffic to have a pizza shop. In New Jersey, you have to rely on word of mouth. That's why I think Jersey pizza is slightly better. Okay, interesting. Ryan, foot traffic. You have to rely on word of mouth. Yeah, a lot of the kind of pizza reviews I was watching on YouTube, because I've got nothing better to do. They were saying this is like, it's a place in New Jersey, but it's a secret place. Like, it's a secret place. Not everyone kind of knows about it. And then they kind of review the place, and they're like, yeah, this pizza is amazing. But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone to visit if they get the chance. Ryan says, do you drink? Yes, water, coffee, and occasionally Pepsi Max. Derwood says, hi Pixel. Derwood's on YouTube because she's sick of the constant Twitch adverts. Which I perhaps need to find a way of kind of sorting out if they're being super annoying. Espanyol are the regional rivals, whereas Real Madrid are the political rivals for Barcelona. Makes sense. I think Espanyol's full name is Espanyol de Barcelona. I know I say de in the most kind of English way, but it is what it is. Timo, FIJGRIBH says, hello, where is Match? Match is in Spain. I know that wasn't the question. Dembele won't win a Ballon d'Or. He just doesn't look like a Ballon d'Or. I mean, look at the other winners or runners up. Should be Rafinha for equal CR7 record. He might do. You never know. He perhaps doesn't have the most stylish haircut, I guess. I don't know if that holds him back. Whereas Yamal has a rather flamboyant blonde bonnet on his head, so maybe he will look better on a poster. Rafinha's got dreadlocks. Maybe that's a good hairstyle for Ballon d'Or. I mean, if he wins it, if he wins it because they win the Champions League, I wouldn't begrudge that. But if they don't win the Champions League and he wins it, I'd be a bit annoyed. Pixel says, hey Dawood. Yeah, there's still not a lot has happened in this match, if I'm honest. I know we won't get him, but I'm curious as to what Yamal's value is. Like, would it be like 300 million or would it be more than that? If somebody gave them 300 million, would Barcelona sell him? Probably not, to be honest. There is some links of a defender I like to Liverpool. John Lucimi. Is he the tall? Oh my God, what a goal. How's he done that? I mean, I was saying, would we pay 300 million for him? Even 300 million wouldn't get that. I mean, I'm happy I'm a score, but like, how does it make it look so easy? We were like, would they accept 300 million? Would they? Heck. I mean, how has he just done that out of nowhere? Like, I just saw him like just take a shot from like 20 yards out, top corner. Good heavens. So Yamal got the ball, cuts inside. Man, cuts inside, smacks it, top corner. Not just top corner, like the side netting of the top corner. So even if you've got like 3 goalkeepers in the goal there. Yeah, even if you have 3 goalkeepers in the goal. Even if you have 6 goalkeepers in the goal, you're not stopping that. That's incredible. John Lucimi is a strong left-sided centre-back. He just won Coppa Italia with Bologna. Is he the guy, Bologna, the one with the colours on the shirts? Because I saw like a link to a centre-back today. I'm going to Google him. Yeah, this is the guy, I think. Yeah. Yeah. John Lucini. Well, if he passes the pixel test, then because Pixel's the chief scout for Liverpool, for Colombian players and players in general. But yeah, I mean, if Pixel's saying he's good, then I'll need to kind of check him out. The thing is, especially currently, with kind of transfer season, we see constant rumors. Like if you scroll down your feed in the afternoon, you'll see kind of 5-10 players. So it takes time to kind of look through all of them. But yeah, I did see this one yesterday. He's a strong left-sided centre back as well. John Lucimi. Oh, he is Colombian. I was going to ask, is he Colombian? Then I went on his Wikipedia and it says, John Lucimi is a Colombian professional footballer who plays as a centre-back for Bologna and the national team. He's been at Bologna for about 4 years now. Might need to do a bit of research on him tonight. Probably not tonight, because this game's finishing late, but maybe tomorrow. Sunny says, what I mean is the aura. Look at 21-22 Benzema, just shows up, won the Ballon d'Or, and he wasn't a contender for the past 10 years, and then hallelujah went to Saudi. Yeah, I mean, who has kind of aura these days? Van Dijk? Yamal is starting to get aura. If he keeps bloody doing that. But who else strikes you as having aura these days? I mean, if we... Oh, God. There's nobody I can think of that has any less aura than Harry Maguire. It's just whenever you see him, he's got this like gormless look on his face that he doesn't know what day it is. That he had to get help to put his shoes on the right way. Like, I don't know what it is about Maguire. I don't know if it's his giant forehead or his giant nose or like his little hairstyle, but I couldn't think of anyone who has any less aura than Harry Maguire. I mean, to be fair, he looks like a very nice person. I'm sure he is a lovely person. But from an aura perspective, I can't think of anything. So Harry's saying when he retires. So perhaps there will be a level of appreciation there. After he's retired. Let's hope so. Dawood says, yes, yeah. That's kind of the... I'm just in shock at kind of how he makes things look so easy. Because that was not an easy shot. And the fact that it wasn't just like a shot that beat the keeper. It was high and into the side netting. I mean, I'm very rarely kind of semi-scared of a player, but he's turning into one of those. Sunny says Lamine Yamal, the only one chosen by the messiah of football itself. Remember the name. I mean, I think we all have to remember the name now. I'm just in awe, like literally in shock. I mean, again here, like he's got the ball. Adawood says Harry Maguire looks constipated all the time. He does. He looks constipated and confused, like he doesn't know what day it is. That, as I said, he had to get help to put his shoes on the right way. I'm sure he's a lovely person, but he doesn't strike me as someone as having aura, which was the previous conversation. Sunny says, when Maguire took the 2021 Euro penalty, he had all the aura in the world. Just look at the penalty, top right. One of the best penalty of all time. I mean, maybe he has aura in specific moments. I'm sure he had aura when he was trying to bribe the Greek police as well. I'm sure he had a bit of aura there, but Yamal is starting to get a bit of aura. Hader's saying the head loss I would have had if he had scored at Anfield. That's what I was kind of imagining. You know, when I was like, oh my God. I can just imagine him just like cutting inside, smacking it top corner, like Alisson like diving for it and just missing it. You could have three Alissons in the goal and they are not saving that, because that's like side netting, top corner. It's the way he just pulls the goal out of nowhere. I mean, I love Salah, but like even Salah's goals are like highly worked, or you know, require a certain amount of positioning, require a certain amount of teamwork, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But like Yamal would just create a goal out of nothing by himself. And he's like 19, isn't he? Crazy, man. Yeah, I don't wanna come up against this Barcelona team next season, because we're gonna be attacking as hell next season. I mean, I love Frimpong, but Yamal versus Frimpong, I don't want to see that. Of course, we might outscore them. They might score 1. We might outscore 5. But you know, sometimes when you used to like hold your breath when you saw Messi dribbling at you, and we thought that was over now that he'd left. Now that he'd moved on. Seems like we got another 10 years of that. Ooh, their number 7's true here. I don't know what no yankle means, Fish. Hi, this is Fish. My name is Burger. But you said, hi, this is Fish. So you got... And then you said, my name is Burger. The first half of your sentence surely contradicts the second half of your sentence. You know what I mean? It's like saying, hi, this is Dave. My name is Steve. Anthony might become the first person to win both the Europa and Conference League medals. How mental is that? He might just be the GOAT, yeah. And we were discussing 5 minutes ago who are the players with aura. Maybe Anthony was that player all along. There you go. Right under your nose. It is kind of funny though, isn't it? That how these players thrive and kind of how these players succeed after they leave Man United. Barcelona's got a monster team. They do have a monster team, man, especially in attack. Right now, Rafinha's got the ball. Rafinha crosses it in, goes to Dani Olmo, tackle. I mean, just looking at their lineup, Yamal, Olmo, Rafinha, Lewandowski. And then just behind them, you got De Jong and Pedri. Araujo's very good centre-back. I mean, I think if they just add like one elite centre-back, they are going to be tough to beat. Potentially a fullback as well. I think there's 2 different Maguire. The England national team, who has his crap together, and then there's the United one who kicks his own players and holds back his own players as well. Yeah. I used to think it was because England played with 5 at the back, so Maguire had more protection. But perhaps Man United is just this cauldron of negativity and everyone performs badly there, whereas when they go to their national teams, then they can kind of thrive. It's like that with most players. They're not very good for Man United, but when they go to their national teams, then they do a lot better. Fish could mean that he's fish burger, yes, by this. Potentially could potentially mean that he's fish burger. Speaking of, filet fish is like underrated, just gotta say. This is what happens when you give these kids some confidence instead of constantly hating on them, which United fans do. Yeah, that's it. I mean, United fans who are having a go at Liverpool for booing Trent as if they were not booing Xerxes. Remember when they were booing Joshua Xerxes like a month ago? I think Man United need to perhaps learn like a level of, I don't know if humility is the right word, but like a level of humility to say you're not that club anymore. You can be that club again in the future, but like you need to give these young players space. Like don't always demand the league. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league. Like say, you know what? Your goal now should be we're gonna get top half. Because if it is just above the relegation though, so yeah, I think it's a toxic environment. It's a toxic club. It doesn't give young players the space to thrive. Young players should just not bother with that club anymore. Of course they are, because they're going to get paid a ridiculous amount. But then the argument is, if you continue to pay these players a ridiculous amount, you're never going to improve. You need to get young, hungry players on a low wage and then rebuild. Hader says that Anthony looks like a shaitan. So basically looks like the devil. I never thought of that, but I think it's probably the eyebrows. The eyebrows and the eyes. He does have a bit of a devilish complexion. Now I think about it. Yeah, I can't unsee it now. United is the graveyard of football. Behold the Undertaker of football. Ruben Amorim is ready. I do kind of feel a bit sorry for Ruben Amorim. I mean, in a toxic club full of toxic players and very toxic owners who seem to keep firing everybody in sight. You know, firing the 60-year-old receptionist who's been there for 30 years as a part of cost cutting. Like what's her 30 grand a year? What difference is that really going to make when you're paying players 350 grand a week? I mean, that's the toxic nature of their club. And in that environment, I do feel a bit sorry for Amorim. He does like, it annoys me that he does seem like a decent guy. so he doesn't fit that team. It would be funny if he just got them Europa League and then said, I'm out. Or Højlund, yeah. Højlund's another one. Højlund was a bizarre signing, to be fair. It felt a bit like Man City got Haaland, so then Man United wanted their own version. And they got like the Aldi version, the Asda Smart Price version, and they got Højlund. But yeah. Højlund, like, I appreciate what we're saying, that they need to give young players time and all that, but like Højlund never looked like an 85 million pound striker. He'd scored like 3 goals for Atalanta. I appreciate this is perhaps not his fault, but that was a bizarre signing. Or Rashford, yeah. Apparently he's gonna be off. Villa can't pay his wages, but again, this is the problem Man United cause. When you give a player 400 grand a week, you have absolutely no chance of ever getting rid of them. So it all comes back to the wages. Apparently Rashford wants to move to Barcelona, and it's like, bro, you watching this? You ain't getting on the bench for this. Never mind starting spot. So he is gonna come back to Man United. But he wants to go, but no one can pay his wages, so he's probably gonna have to take a pay cut. Fish says, hello, this is not Fish, it's James Madison. Well, I will call you James Madison from now on, if I remember. Hader says, all toilet settings, no class. Yeah, literally no class. No class, complete delusion, complete arrogance. There's really kind of nothing nice I can say at this point. Oh God. And just the owners that they've got in Ineos just literally sum them up as a club. Just literally like cost-cutting jobs all over the place. And like, I don't know if anyone's seen, but traditionally kind of staff are invited to finals. Ineos have said that they're not going to invite the staff to the Europa League final. They can just, have a little party at home. It's like, why are you treating these, I understand treating players badly to a certain degree, but like, why are you treating like, the groundsman or the chef or, the normal people? Like, why are you treating the normal people like rubbish? Let them take them to the final, man. It's going to cost you nothing, and it will absolutely it will give them a lifetime memory, and then it will make them, it will make them want to do better. Because I think when you show staff that you value them, they will then value you more and they'll try harder. But just treating them like rubbish, man. It's literally, it's horrible way to treat people. If United win the Europa League, how many European trophies will they have? I can Google it for you. Well, that looks wrong. Apparently they've got 3 Champions Leagues, but I swear they haven't. This would be their second. This would be. Fuck it. Sorry. Let's just say a couple. Fish, not fish. James Madison says top 1 Barcelona Hottie, 1 Henry, 2 Anang. But you said top 1 and you've named 2 players. Typical Man United, overpay for all. Yeah, that's the way they operate. It's this delusion of grandeur that they can just buy their way out of anything. It doesn't work. And not even recent history, even the kind of generation before that with Pogba. Like, remember they spent like 90 million on Pogba, and Pogba turned out to be absolute trash. It's just the way they operate. They don't have a strategy. They just look at FIFA, and whoever's got the most points at FIFA, just throw money at him and then hope it works. Højlund was the Timu version of Haaland, and guess what? He fumbled hard. Yeah, it was a weird signing, because even when they signed him, right, was it Atlanta, and he had like 3 goals, like three goals the entire season, and we're like, him? Really? A bizarre, a truly bizarre signing. James Madison is saying Hansi Flick, Spain, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Is that like a guava? Like, what's the meaning of like a guava? Not paying the staff is nasty work. It is. It's like you're paying like millions. You're paying like millions and millions of pounds in wages. Oh shit! Yeah, my timer stopped. It's all right. I can fix that. I don't know how and why that stopped, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah, but like with respect to kind of Man United's owners, I don't understand what their end game is. You're paying millions and millions of pounds in wages every single week. What is the cost, honestly? I mean, let's estimate the cost to take one staff member to a final. I don't know, £500 flight. It doesn't have to be a first class flight or anything. Just a normal flight. Flight and hotel, probably like £500. I wouldn't expect them to go first class. That's probably pushing it. But like flight, decent hotel for 1 night, maybe 2, £500. Maybe get them some free food. Chuck another 100 on, £600. Do that for 10 staff, £6,000. £6,000. £6,000 one-off cost, and they pay Jadon Sancho $350,000 a week. Nasty, man. It's nasty. I really hope Tottenham win. Yeah, I want Tottenham to win as well. Partly because it means Man United don't win, and partly because it will, it will annoy Arsenal even more. Because then you could genuinely make the argument that And I don't believe it, but you could make the argument then that Spurs are a bigger team than Arsenal because they've got more European heritage, because they've got a European trophy, Arsenal, but you don't. So yeah, I think it will really rattle the Arsenal fans, which we always love to see. Pogba was a fraud. He was a monster at Juventus, though. Yeah, he was very good at Juventus, but I think it was again a kind of emotional signing. He perhaps wasn't the player that they needed, but they bought him because he was kind of good on FIFA, and then they just kind of tried to insert him into the team, but it never quite worked. The funniest thing as well with Pogba is they released him on a free. So as I'm sure most people know, he used to play for Man United. They released him on a free, and then they broke the transfer record to buy him back. James Madison says Hansi Flick versus Hwang Hee-chan. Is that like a fantasy like fight, like a UFC fight that you got in your head going on there, Fish? Yeah, Durwood always corrects me with the timer, which I'm very grateful for, because if Durwood didn't mention that, I would not have noticed. for some reason, it was stuck on 45. I don't know why, but it should be fixed now. What does winning the Conference League get you? Is it Europa League? And where does Chelsea stand right now in the league table? I think you probably do get like a spot in the Europa League next season. Chelsea are 5th, apparently. They're 5th. And I know that because we Googled it yesterday. The reason why we Googled it yesterday is there was a news story that came out yesterday where it said Chelsea are probably going to stick with Maresca. Chelsea are willing to give Maresca another season. And I saw that and I thought, wow, okay, Chelsea must be doing terribly then. They must be like 10th if that's the kind of language they're using. They had a look and they're 5th. And I said, what do you mean willing to stick? He's done a good job. He's done a good job, especially how your last season went with Poch. Even economy, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they don't have to go on business class flights or first class flights. I mean, stick them on an economy flight. I mean, where is the final? Where is the Europa League final? Is it Moscow? It's probably not going to be Moscow. Where's the Europa League final? What the hell is San Memes? Is that Spain or something? Okay, it's in Bilbao. Okay. All right. So what's an okay, so that's even less then. What's an economy return flight for one person? I mean, even not talking EasyJet, and probably won't put them on EasyJet, I don't know. But it can't be more than 300 pound, right? Hotel, 2 nights, £300 again. A bit of food, £100. You know, 50 pound a day. That's £600, yeah. £600 per person. And you're paying Jadon Sancho £350,000 a week. Clubs forget how much staff carry everything. No morale in staff, it will crumble. That's the thing. If you treat people like dirt, they will treat your club like dirt. It's like if it was a shop, right? If you treat the shop staff like dirt as the owner, they're not going to want to work as hard. They're just going to see this as a job. They're going to think, you know what, we're going to get fired eventually anyway, so we might as well not bother. I mean, even though you're the owner and these people are, you know, the staff, you still have to treat them respectfully. Treat them as equals to a certain degree. Ooh, the ref's running over to the side here. Oh my god. I was thinking there's nothing in that, but he literally just she just punched him in the stomach. It's hard to tell like how much impact there actually is unless you're like involved in the punch, but it looked that looked pretty bad. I shouldn't laugh actually. That looked quite tough. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sanctioned for that. Spurs have to win, so Big Ange stays, mate. Yeah, we want Ange to stay, mate. Want him to stay, mate. Referee's pulling. Oh my god, referee's sending him off. Wow. Cabrera is getting sent off. I mean, all he did was punch Yamal in the stomach. It's a contact sport, guys. That's a straight red as well. I understand it. Literally just did that to Yamal's stomach. I thought that might be a booking, but I mean, I don't know if Yamal makes a meal of that. It's tough to say. Like, unless someone's hitting you, like you can't really tell from images like how tough that was. Fish says, sorry, James Madison says, Fish, my friend named Robbie, and then whatever that is. True, I didn't think of that. That's a really good point. Ryan says, plus it's United, they'll probably get a discount on it. Yeah, they'll get business rates. Yeah. So when I used to kind of travel for work, like instead of booking like hotels and flights at the normal rate, you get business rates. So you get a bit of money off. So you get things for a bit cheaper. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. United will have like contracts with suppliers and things, so they'll get it for even cheaper. It'll be less than £600 per person. I mean, fair play to United. They somehow find someone who's even worse than the Glazers. What will happen if Chelsea win the Conference League and made the qualification spot in UCL, where they will play next year? And who will get the Champions spot? Right. So I think in this example, are you saying Chelsea finish in a Champions League spot in the Premier League? What I'd presume would happen then is the loser of the final would then get the Europa League spot. Which team will you consider bigger? 1.5 Champions Leagues and 0 league. So you're saying they won 1 and they got to 1 final, or 15 league and 0 Champions League? I'd say it depends on the league. I was gonna say option 2, obviously, but maybe it depends on the league. If it's the Welsh League of Wales, right? I'd say 1.5 Champions Leagues are gonna probably usurp a billion Welsh titles. Sorry, Cardiff. But more often than not, 15 league titles. So I'd say like for any of the kind of major leagues, English league, Spanish league, Italian leagues, Portuguese league, Dutch league even, I'd always say 15 league titles. The way I kind of traditionally think about it is the league title is a major trophy and the Champions League is also a major trophy. So that would mean 15 leagues outweigh 1.5 Champions League. But the exception is if it's a very weak league. So Wales League, or I don't know, the Bosnian League, I don't know. If you're a Bosnian team and you win the Champions League, that's probably the greatest achievement in Bosnian history, and then it would supersede 15 leagues. So Ryan's saying the same thing. 15 leagues, but it depends on what the league is. For any of the big ones, Premier League and so forth, it would be 15 leagues significantly outweigh 1 Champions League. Whereas if it's League One, if it's League One, if a League One team was to somehow win the Champions, was to somehow qualify and to somehow win the Champions League, that would usurp winning multiple leagues, I think. Seven minutes to go then in this game. It looks like Barcelona might be champions tonight. Rafinha's still closing down, to be fair. Still showing a lot of energy, still showing a lot of desire. Even though there's 5 minutes left and they've probably won the league at this point. But you love to see that. Chesney coming off his line again. Chesney thinks he's Harry coming off his line. I meant to say 1.5 Champions League. Oh, you meant to say, okay, so 0.15 Champions League. Or 15 league. Yeah, I think the point's the same, really. I think the point's the same. I guess where there might be a bit of contention is if it's like a medium-ish league. So we're saying if it's like a top league, oh, your Maul's through here again, saved. If it's a top league, like Premier League, then 15 Premier Leagues would outweigh 5 Champions Leagues. If it's a bottom league, like the Bosnian League, then 5 Champions Leagues would outweigh 5 Champions League would outweigh 15 leagues. Whereas if it's a medium league, I don't know, what's a medium league these days? Croatian league, maybe? I don't know if I feel like Croatia have a league. Then I might favour the Champions League again. Ryan says, as a Liverpool fan, I would rather us win the Premier League over the Champions League. Yeah, the Premier League, I think it always kind of depends on the team. I think for Liverpool, Premier League has been the one that's been missing. And I know we won the one in 2020. So I think the importance for us is definitely kind of Premier League. And I'd say next season again, Premier League. Because we've matched Man United now. So if we win one more next season, we've then exceeded their title. So I'd say the priority still next season will be the Premier League. In terms of excitement, in terms of kind of what gets me excited, I find the Champions League more exciting because I feel like there's a lot more on the line. It's a lot more nerve-wracking because everything's coming down to this one game. But in terms of the priority for the club, yes, it would be the Premier League. Whereas for Man City, it would be the Champions League, and especially before they won it. Whereas for Man United, it would be absolutely anything. Same with Arsenal. They take anything, they ain't complaining. Ooh, good save there. Espanyol still giving it a go, to be fair. They're not going down without a fight. They're giving it their all. Despite going down to 10 men. Ryan says, I kind of feel bad for United fans, especially the older fans, went from winning everything to being 17th in the league. I hear what you're saying. I don't. Because my older brother's a United fan, so my childhood was as you can imagine. So like, I don't feel sorry for him at all. He can enjoy his 17th. But in general, yeah. When you see Sir Alex Ferguson in the crowd and he's literally crying, I'll be honest, a bit of me kind of feels bad for him there because he's literally like this old man and he's crying. He's watching his life work be destroyed. It's not nice. Yeah, it is funny. I feel like even worse for the kids of those older fans, because like those like moms and dads, they would have forced those kids to support Man United because the parents did, if you know what I mean. So if a kid was born like 10 years ago, yeah, so if a kid was born 10 years ago, he would have been forced to support Man United by his dad. But that kid would have never seen Man United win a trophy, and that kid is now forever stuck with Man United because of his dad. Because his dad made him support him. It's kind of funny. That's who I feel sorry for. The kids who had no choice. They're supporting Man United because their parents made them. But at least their parents have seen Man United win a trophy, whereas the kids maybe have some old clips on YouTube and that's all they have. Sunny says, a very common question I get is, what would you want? Your country winning the World Cup or your club winning the Champions League? Club winning the Champions League every single time. Champions League every single time. I don't really, for me personally, like, I wouldn't say like I really kind of particularly kind of support England. And I think the reason for that is because they've got players that I don't like. So I know Ryan saying World Cup, and I know some other people that I work with, they'll say World Cup. But like for me, like I find it hard to like support Saka. I find it hard to kind of support Harry Kane, for example. Whereas I don't think there's any Liverpool players in the England squad now, because Trent the Rat doesn't play for us anymore. Curtis Jones, I guess. Yeah, I think my approach is I generally just support the Liverpool players. So if it's that would perhaps make me a Netherlands fan now, because we got Van Dijk is there, Frimpong is there, Gakpo is there, Gravenberch is there, possibly Hato is there. But even then, I'd support Liverpool. I'd favor a Champions League every single time. Yeah, well, it would be nice in some ways, I guess. But still, like one more Champions League would be nice. This can say 7 on it instead. This thing over here. That would be good. Five minutes to go until Barcelona are champions. See, that's the thing. So they're actually, I can't change my mind. I can't deal with Arsenal fans claiming England won the World Cup because of Saka. That's it. That is literally it. I created that McAllister laughing thing. As you can see there. But yeah, we don't want to give Saka a trophy. We don't want Arsenal fans to kind of pretend it was all Saka who did it. And even like Declan Rice, I find Declan Rice a bit annoying these days. I find Pickford proper annoying. Like I don't want Pickford to get a World Cup. Who else is in that squad? There's just too many players that I don't like. But a UCL will be celebrated by only a certain section like Liverpool, but a World Cup is celebrated by the entire nation. So where would you go? Yeah, I still easily pick the Champions League every single time. Kind of for the reasons that I was giving. Most of the England squad I don't like, because Saka plays for Arsenal, Pickford plays for Everton, Harry Kane plays for Bayern Munich. So I don't feel any connection to them. I find it really hard to like them for 4 weeks when I've been hating them for 4 years. So yeah, Champions League every single time. Heck, if you said to me, would you take Liverpool winning one game or England winning the World Cup? I'd say Liverpool winning one game. See, Hader gets it. Pun international. Exactly. I just don't really feel a connection. And it's not even like in other sports, that I follow. Like I support the English teams, I support the English guys. I watch UFC, I like Tom Aspinall. I watch like World's Strongest Man, I support the English people there. But the thing is with the England team, I hate most of them. So I can't really kind of get behind them. So even if you said to me, would you rather England won the World Cup or Liverpool won one game? I'd say Liverpool win one game. That's my choice. Give me the 3 points, man. I don't care about internationals. Oh, Barcelona just scored again. I think that's the title wrapped up. Yes, Bun International is the best way to put it. Literally, I've no attachment or anything to international football. In reality, it's the England national team. Are they really going to win the World Cup? That's like saying the US will win. To be honest, the US probably got a better chance. Got a better chance than England. I think England, too many players perhaps don't have the mentality to see it through. And I don't think the media pressure necessarily helps here either. But yeah, you just know, like, if England get to a penalty shootout, they ain't getting through. And the thing that I find annoying as well is, like, we'll play like all these teams in the group stages, and we'll be like, yeah, we defeated Bosnia 5-0. And then as soon as England come up against France, game over. Time to see the Madrid fanboys crying and say 15 UCL till the end of the world. Yeah, they can say that, but I think it's Barcelona's moment now. That's the thing I don't get. Like, if someone else wins, like, just say, you know what, they won it. Like, instead of saying, no, actually, we've got 15 Champions Leagues, we're better than you. I mean, even if, you know what I mean? It's like, fair enough, you won it, well done. Well done. Be gracious in defeat. Oh, there's a fight. Why is there a fight? Full-time whistle happened, so Barcelona players ran on the pitch. And then a fight broke out. It's quite funny that all the concerns were about the fans raiding the pitch, but it's the players having a fight, not the fans. Isn't that ironic? They've got the sprinklers spraying water on the players who are fighting. Durwood says, "What a great football season this was. Both my teams won their league. Yeah, pretty much perfect season for you, I guess. Couldn't really ask for much more." Yeah, Real Madrid are going to be annoyed now. You know, their entitled little attitude where they think they're entitled to winning absolutely everything and having absolutely everything. They're going to be in meltdown. Well, apparently they've signed Housen for 50 million. So they do have money. Surprise, surprise. I thought they had no money. That's why they get Trent for free. That's why they get Mbappe for free. That's why they get Rudiger for free. That's why they get, I don't know. That's why they'll take anything for free. But apparently they do have money for Hassan. Look at that. They also want Trent early. Give us Trent early so he can play in the Club World Cup, but for free. We don't want to pay for him early. Give him for free. Who would have thought? Who would have thought they actually did have a bit of money about them? The Espanyol manager looks like he's been in a couple of fights. I wouldn't mess with him. Only thing would be better for City to be found guilty. It would be, but that's probably even less likely than England winning the World Cup for some reason. I got a bad feeling there's going to be like shenanigans and, you know, corruption and dirtiness happening in the background, and then they get cleared of everything. That's kind of the fear. That's kind of the big fear, and it's got a bad feeling, you know, something like that's going to happen. I would love it for the right thing to happen, but as we know, more often than not, these people get away with the things that they do. Yeah, and I think Hayder's mentioned it there as well, saying sitter will get slapped on the wrist, a little fine at most. Yeah, that's what I got a bad feeling about. Slap on the wrist is nothing, and a little fine is even less than nothing to them. So yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's another game done with then. So Barcelona are champions. We will take that. We are happy with that. I might be back tomorrow if I got energy. I don't know. Today I'm gonna leave on time, unlike yesterday when I was falling asleep at the desk and I was like, okay, I need to go. But might be back tomorrow. There's Chelsea Man United tomorrow. Maybe do that. But if not, definitely Saturday for the FA Cup final. City next season will be a force to reckon with. Pep is back with his. Is he back with his wife? I thought they were getting divorced. I thought that's why he sent Kyle Walker away, but I thought I shouldn't make assumptions. But is he back with his wife? I thought they were getting divorced. What's that about? I thought. Well, I mean, if they work things out, I'm happy for him. The Boldy has found his happiness, yeah. I mean, Boldy probably didn't want to pay half his salary, but I'm glad they worked things out. In my opinion, if not guilty of a majority, they would need to have it announced. They would have announced it already. I have a hopeful feeling. Okay, I think that's a good point there. You just reminded me of something. Like, I'm semi-hopeful that the kind of breakdown they've had this season is because they know internally in the club that they're absolutely screwed, and then that's affecting the mindset. Like, if there's a mess kind of off the pitch, then that also affects the kind of players on the pitch. So I'm hoping that's what's happened. You know what I mean? Let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on that. Sunny says, bye, adios and sayonara. Visca Barça, Visca Catalunya. Indeed. Goodbye to you. I'm gonna drop off as well now. As I said, we'll hopefully be back tomorrow. Looking at the schedule over here. Tomorrow, Chelsea versus Man United. So trash versus even bigger trash. We might have to do that one. And then Saturday's the FA Cup final. Sunday, I'm probably not going to be home. So yeah, most likely Chelsea versus Man United tomorrow. and then Crystal Palace versus Man City on Saturday. So yeah, you'll see it on the thing. I'll create the schedule, create the thumbnail, and then yeah, hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, good night, good evening to you, Derwood. I hope you have a nice evening, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Man United versus Chelsea. Take care, guys. Cheers.